What's going on? This is End Time. Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. What it is, Jay. What's going on, brother?
I'm here.
You're here. You're in the land of the living. You know, I want to I'm here worried because this is episode 76, but it should have been episode 77 if I hadn't goofed last week and not check the audio. So right now I'm kind of like walking on pins and needles because I'm like, let me go check on YouTube and make sure that the audio is coming through, because I got word that the stream was coming, but the audio wasn't coming through from my son after the fact that he was watching, and he was like, dang, the title was good and I'm sure the conversation was great, but there was no audio on there, man. And I just felt like a doofus. So
Wait, who told you that?
dude, it was my son, man. One of my sons was watching, and he was like, yeah, man, it was great, but there was no sound. He only saw the title. Yeah, he saw the title, so he was like, yeah, I'm sure y'all were having a great conversation. I was like, yeah, but it's whatever, man. But what's good with you, Jay, man? What's going on in your neck of the woods?
Same thing I do every day, Pinky. Work my 18 jobs and play retro when I can.
So what you been playing, man? Let's jump into that. And today I'm not going to make it any surprise or anything. We're gonna try this again. Like I said, I'm even have a backup audio recording in case it doesn't come through. But I'm hoping everything will pan out just fine. But what have you been playing, sir? When you get a chance to play?
Um, the latest thing I played some Outrun. I'm playing a game on PlayStation 2 called Grounded Extreme.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it, man. I really haven't invested any time heavily into gaming right now.
Okay. So you just been kind of like laying low. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I mean, we go through a cycle like that sometimes. It's just part of gaming.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. Sometimes we go through those lulls and whatnot, and really gaming is like the furthest thing. Have you been watching any new series on either YouTube or Netflix? Anything you've been doing to kind of just fill in the time, when you're just lounging around?
Now I have been watching some anime, but there's so much of it going on right now. Um, but if I had to say the one I'm kind of watching on the regular, I'm watching Berserk right now.
Berserk. All right, talk
Yeah.
to me about that. I don't think I've heard of that.
Hey, man, I'm gonna have to send it to you, man. It's really hard to explain, but it's good though.
Okay. I mean, is it
Yeah.
is it subtitled? Is it
It came out in English or in the it's like a 90s title, man. It's
okay?
um matter of fact, you got Netflix, don't you?
Yeah, I got Netflix.
I think it's on Netflix.
Okay, Berserk or Berserker?
Berserk.
Berserk. Okay, all right. Might have to peep that, and I'm not really watching. I don't think I'm really watching anything on Netflix. I finished watching the second season or the second series. I forget what they call it. It's the same series. I guess it's the second season of Alice in Borderland. You ever heard of that?
No.
Alice in Borderland. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know what I've been
Hey,
finding more recently, Jay, that I'm enjoying more of like the Asian films and Netflix series, and just watching those, and sometimes the voiceover is terrible, like they're talking in their native tongue, and but you have like an English voiceover and whatnot, because I hate reading subtitles. Like if I'm gonna watch something, I'll suffer through the bad voiceover rather than read, because if I'm gonna read while watching a movie, I might as well just pick up a book. That's just how I feel about it. But I mean, aren't you the same? Or I mean, or would you sit there and watch one of your animes with, with subtitles and read through it? Doesn't that distract you?
No, well, I've been doing it for so long that I can just do both. Like it's second nature.
Oh, okay, well,
And is I've watched there's certain stuff I watch in both Japanese and English, and it won't matter because I enjoy it either way.
hey, I get it, man. I mean, if you can do it, more power to you, man. I just I can't, man. Like for whatever reason, I tried. I could probably hang for a little bit, but yeah, after a little while, I'm just like I'm either getting sleepy or I just can't. I just can't focus.
Let's
Yeah.
see what you got on the agenda for us today, man.
Well, we gonna talk about some games. Like I said in our previous original episode 76, we were doing a countdown. Now, when I say we were with Henyo included, which he's not here this evening. Henyo's been working like an animal. They've just been taking him to the shed out back and just taking them to task, man. And so I know this 3-day weekend was a great refresher for a lot of us. But when he comes back on, I really liked his approach because he was sharing 10 series, not just games, but 10 series that he has played. And we went through about half the list, right? When we were together the last time, Jay. I think we went through like
Yeah.
5 of them. And I was trying my best to go over to YouTube and share on the screen as we were talking about the games. So I kind of figured, we jump in, pick up where we left off. I know Henyo's not here, but when he does, when he is available, when he does turn around, we can continue to do this. And again, if you guys are listening to this, watching this on youtube.com at Drama Free Gaming, leave a like, leave a subscribe. And if you want us to do more of this, more of these like reminiscing on older games or games that we've played or games that we're looking forward to, or maybe even topics such as what were the 5 most addictive games in your life, or what were the top 5 just games that flopped in your opinion. I mean, we can do that all day, every day. But I was really enjoying that, so I just want to kind of pick up where we left off, man. And so you want to go first, or should I go first and kicking this off with?
I'll let you kick off this party, baby. It's your show.
Okay, you want me to kick it off, man? All right. So we were talking about a bunch of games. I'm not going to repeat those games here at all, but the one game that I left off with that I couldn't wait to share it's a game that you and I talk a whole lot about. Just recently, we were doing some B-roll, and you brought up this game, one of the many in the series, but I love me some Outrun. Outrun is a game for me that whether it was in the arcade, whether it was when it came to console, Outrun just left a lasting impression on me. And even as I talk, I'm gonna try to bring something up on the screen here for you guys to watch. And there it is. There it is, man. And Outrun is just, I don't know. I can't. What was most impactful about Outrun was just receiving it that fateful Christmas morning, man. When I actually got it on the Sega Master System first, so it didn't look as clean as the one you're like looking on the screen right now. But Outrun for me, the music, the driving, the sense of speed, it was just one of those games you pick up and go. And no matter how many times I cleared the different branching paths, I would come back to it over and over and over and over again. And I don't know, for me it created a lot of childhood memories. Well, I wasn't a little baby at the time, but It was just one of those games that's always stuck with me. It's like right up there with Pac-Man. Like Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man, Outrun is in that category, and I know I just cheated and I said another game, but the music, you know, I can't. I don't know. It's just the game itself. I play it now. Like my kids came around me. My kids are grown pretty much, and they saw me playing this just recently on the Switch, and they were like, "How can you like see the screen?" Right? And that was my daughter. That was my oldest daughter. So she's not a gamer or anything. But for me, it's like these were the days, man. Like these games here, it just a lot of good memories, a lot of good vibes, a lot of good memories. But I won't continue to gush about that. What about you, Jay? As we come back, for those of you who are watching, the B-roll that's playing is the Born Conspiracy. You remember that game, bro?
I remember that game, man. We talked about that game the other day.
Yeah, man. I think we did, and I was playing it on the 360. So good times, man. Good times. But go ahead, man, Jay. Batter up. Your turn.
Oh, man, this man want me to step to the plate, huh?
Yeah, you got to step up to the plate to share with us a
Uh,
game that has just stuck with you over the many moons of gaming.
um, I'm gonna take a page out of Henyo's book, but I don't know if you heard that one or not, where the brother he did it in series, and I'm gonna have to break it down. And this is top five, right?
Well, I mean, we're gonna use 5 games. Doesn't necessarily have to be in a particular order, but yeah.
Castlevania series.
The Castlevania series. Okay. The Castlevania series is good. Now, even Henyo, when he was mentioning the series, if I'm not mistaken, he actually went in there and picked maybe one of the games. If you had to pull one gem out of the Castlevania series, which one would be the first one that comes to mind?
The original.
The original
The original.
Castlevania. Just straight
That
up
is probably
Castlevania, NES Castlevania.
yeah, that is probably the Castlevania I've probably played the most,
Mm.
probably in the last 4 years. And I still play it like to this day. I'll still fire it up and run it right now.
Wow, Castlevania. So what is it about Castlevania that just keeps you, it haunts you. It keeps you coming back for more.
It's childhood favorite, man. It just reminds me of the time when gaming and life actually meant something, and it was fun. It just reminds me of fun times,
Mm. And here
and
on
I think I need that reminder every once in a while.
so it just makes you kind of come back full circle to a familiar place, kind of like a security blanket, right?
Yeah, man. I'm like Linus out here, got his thumb in the off and that blanket over his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Castlevania is for me.
Yeah, the brother brought up the peanuts now. Or for those of you who don't know, Charlie Brown and Snoopy, the original Peanuts gang, right?
Yes,
Um,
sir.
but yeah, for those of you who are watching this, again, this is not our gameplay and whatnot. We just pulled something up just for you guys to see. But who's not familiar with Castlevania? And if you're not, you need to play this game. You need to go back. You need to play this game. What's if you had to rate the Castlevania games, which one would you put at the bottom? Which one would be the one that you say, okay, if you're gonna play a Castlevania, play all of them and leave this one for last? Which one would be the last one you leave? Not because it's bad or anything, but
Mm. There was a Castlevania fighting game. I think it was called Castlevania Judgment. Game
okay.
was trash.
Castlevania Judgment.
100%. 100% pure trash.
Wow. Wow. And what system was that on? And do you remember who put it out?
You had to ask me that question, didn't you?
I just thought, I mean, you being a big
Uh,
fan,
man, I know it came out on, I think it came out on Saturn,
okay.
either Saturn or Wii U, one of the two. And the game was, dude, I can't even consider it a Castlevania game. That's how bad it is.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Well, hey, every game has its black sheep, right? It has its game that just doesn't just hit the mark, right? So
Black, Black
were they
Sheep,
trying something new with that game? Was that the reason why it was terrible?
man, I don't even, man.
They just got away from the formula, didn't they?
It was, ooh, fighting games are popular. Let's make one out of Castlevania.
Oh, dang, they were chasing the trend, man.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we can. I mean, that could be a whole segment of what we speak about, and I mean what we've tuned into other podcasts and have heard commented, like, you know, when companies and publishers and whatnot start chasing after trends, right? Saying, oh, this company has success doing it, with their franchise or whatnot. Why don't we just follow suit and see how much money we can make, right? And it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, man.
It actually it does work.
I mean, it does, but for the one, maybe two that get on board,
Um,
but not for everybody, man. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like I mentioned Destiny, right, from time to time, like vanilla Destiny, and Destiny is still going strong, right, for Bungie. When they put that game out, others have since tried to follow in the Destiny, path, and have failed miserably. Um, and they wonder why, man. They wonder, like, well, what is it that Destiny has done that we haven't copied and pasted, and why hasn't it worked out for us? And I mean, I think it just takes much more than just copying and pasting something that looks like someone else's success and expecting it for it to come, successful for you. I don't know. I might be wrong.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong at all, honestly.
I mean, name, if you can name one company or one instance where a trend was chased and it was successful. What comes to mind?
God of War.
God of War chased what? What did God of War chase? What did they?
They well, no, they didn't. Well, you mean started a trend or chased a trend?
Well, I mean started. I mean chased a trend. Like I put out there Destiny, and that was Bungie, and they started that. You might say
Um,
that genre and whatnot, and got success, and
okay.
then you had Anthem,
Oh
and
God.
you know,
Well, um, okay. Watch Dogs chased the Grand Theft Auto trend. They just did it. They brought it to a different way, but it was still pretty much a Grand Theft Auto knockoff.
yeah. Well, and remember what Watch Dogs One was promised to be and never really delivered.
Sounds like a couple games I can name, like Division, but I still love it.
I
Why
mean,
did they promise it?
I might be a little biased, but Division. I mean, Division showed off a lot of concepts and stuff like that. But when the game came out, it was still and still continues to be in my opinion, that's just my opinion. I might be biased, but it is still a game that has a following and a community and whatnot. But I mean, I'm talking like in the case of Anthem, for instance, right? Like it tried to do, or what about Ghost Recon? What was the last Ghost Recon that Ubisoft put out? I forget what it was. Not Wildlands, the other one.
Breakpoint.
Breakpoint. I mean, what was the way that Ubisoft went wrong on that one? We've talked about it here before, right? They tried to do the whole raid. They tried to do the whole gear score. It just completely went off the rails of what that game was originally, and it was because they were trying to follow the trend. They were trying to be, like Destiny and have raids and have, and try to incorporate what they had, had with other of their franchises and whatnot. But anyways, I don't even want to talk no more about that, bro, because it's
All right.
kind of upsetting.
We can get. Hey, well, what you got, man?
Well, okay. Well, so I got another game here, and this one is another classic. And it's on the NES, 1987 Nintendo, and it's none other than Punch Out. Remember Punch Out?
Oh, the original Punch Out
The
with Mr. Dream or Mike Tyson?
I'm talking the one with Little Mac and Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna bring it up on here for everybody to see here in a second. But Punch Out, bro. When I played Punch Out on the NES for the first time, dude, I was instantly hooked on this game. And here we go. I'm just bringing up some of the B-roll for you guys that are watching. The very first fighter that you fight is who? Do you know, Jay? Do you remember his name?
The very first fighter?
The very first fighter.
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe. Right? That was the tutorial boxer.
Yeah, well, we ain't call him Glass Joe for nothing.
Glass Joe. So yeah, man. I mean, it was just so dope, man, to just have like kind of like this. It's not really a first person. It's like an over the shoulder or behind the character. You have Little Mac, and he actually has to like jump up to like punch the characters in the face. And it's all a rhythm game, isn't it? I mean, it's all on a pattern and a rhythm. And once you learn the different patterns and rhythms of the boxes that you're fighting, you can pretty much go through it until you get to Iron Mike Tyson himself. And yeah, it's just really cool, man. Really cool.
Man, why you bringing up old memories, man? I ain't played Mike Tyson's Punch Out in so long.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out, man. That's just, it's the game, bro.
Did you play Super Punch Out?
I played Super Punch Out as well. Yeah, but I always come back to OG. I always come back to this game, man. I always come back to the NES.
That was a beautiful game back in the day.
Yeah. I mean, it had a lot of different iterations and stuff and whatnot. I think they had one for the Switch. Did you ever play the one for the Switch with the motion controls?
Oh, I didn't. They came out for Switch?
Yeah, they had a Punch Out for the Switch.
Oh, you mean the Wii?
Oh, oh my God. Am I saying the Switch?
Wii. I was like, wait, I like that.
The motion Wii. The motion control. I'm here all messed up, bro.
I was like, wait a minute. I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy.
No. You're right. I'm here saying the Switch. No. For the Wii with the motion controls, man. That was kind of dope. That was kind of dope as well. And they like redid all the graphics and everything, so the characters were more like cartoonish and whatnot. It was pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope.
Now I think I seen the speed run.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, there's plenty of speed runs on these old games. Like I said a little earlier, it's a rhythm game. So once you kind of like figure out the moves of the boxers and whatnot, you know, even Mike Tyson himself. I think I had seen one speed run on it where the dude got to, or whoever it was playing, it could have been a girl for all I know, got to Iron Mike himself and didn't throw like not one punch for like a round or two, and then when he did throw a punch or whatever, he like knocked him out. So
if you want to watch a good thing on Mike Tyson's Punch Out, there's a YouTuber called Summoning Salt.
Summoning Salt, okay.
And he did a real good speed running history on Mike Tyson's Punch Out and the record and how it got to where it was.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty good watch. You should definitely check it out.
Okay, most definitely. I'll definitely check that out. Summoning Salt, you guys heard it here. So shout out to that content creator. Go check that person out. And I've been watching The Gaming Historian, and I forgot how good those like mini documentaries are and whatnot on everything from like the history of the making of Mario Kart. I just finished seeing one on Tetris, and that was wild, bro. I mean, the stories that some of these games have, like where they came from, when they came out, the impact that they had. Didn't know that Tetris was, I don't know if it still is, but Tetris is like the seventh all-time selling video game. Now I don't know if that's still true, but you know, that was
Really?
yeah, that was yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, me neither, man. It had such an impact, bro, that it yeah. I mean, gaming historian, go check him out as well on YouTube. All right, Jay, you did you mention any game? We talked about
Um,
Punch Out. It's your turn.
this man brought Punch Out to the stage. Hey, man,
Yeah, we're
Punch
not
Out was
competing, man. It was just
the.
games that just
I'm
kind of
gonna.
jumped out at you, stayed
I'm
with
a.
you.
I'm a. I'm a stay with you on the Nintendo side, and for what it was and for what its time, it still holds up and it's still one of the greatest games ever. The original Contra on the on the NES.
Contra on the NES. Okay. And so what of Contra? What was it that gripped you on
Man, look,
Contra?
Contra was the game when you wanted to
You're
sit
preaching
down
to
with
the
your
choir, you know
homeboy
that,
and
right?
rock out.
You're preaching to the choir.
What you mean, man?
Yeah, I'm saying you're preaching to the choir. Like I love Contra myself, man.
Uh,
Um game was pretty hard, man. Konami, right back in the days. I'm gonna bring up the video now as we speak, but yeah, you had well, didn't this come out around the time that watching these movies like what was these movies like
well, that was
Rambo and
Rambo and Arnold.
Commando and
So one was supposed to be quote unquote Rambo, kind of looked like him,
yeah,
and the
really?
other one was
Okay.
supposed to be Arnold from Predator.
Okay, you see, I didn't even know that. I learned something new here. I was just shooting the breeze here, but that's how they try to depict these guys in Contra. One was supposed to be Rambo, and the other one Commando.
Man, you look who they were selling to.
Yeah, yeah, us.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't afraid to admit it.
Yeah.
I
Now,
mean, our generation. I mean, well, you got to remember, man, things in our generation. If it got popular, you got a cartoon.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now
So
this
I'm not knocking that at all. That's just the way it was.
now this game here had different games in its series, right? There was other like spin-offs and games made under like this banner, right, of Contra.
Well, Contra, everybody kind of bit off Contra, man. I mean, you got everything from your metal slugs to your uh oh man, there's so many games like because Contra to me kind of set the pace for your action shooters now.
Okay, okay. Would
My
this
opinion.
would this game what's this game called that's coming to mind? Would Russian Attack be fall into this genre here with Contra? It's a run and gun, right?
Well, nah, that's a platformer.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, it was interesting, and I took it off the B-roll already. But what's interesting with Contra was that they had not only like the side scrolling, but they also had the kind of like when you're walking into the screen.
Yeah,
So then that didn't classify then Contra as just a platformer, right? It was more than that.
it was more than it was a shoot. I mean,
I mean, a run and
I
gun.
see, I see, I see the point you trying to make, but Russian Attack, you mainly went through the game with a knife. You didn't
Okay.
go through the game with a gun.
Okay.
So I would consider that more on the platforming end because you're doing more. I mean, they both. I don't know how to classify. You got me. I think you got me, and
I
I'm
don't know.
tripping over everything. Like,
I wasn't trying to trip you over nothing at all, man. I was just like, it just came to mind that Russian Attack was another game that I played back in the days, and not a lot of not definitely nowhere near as much as playing Contra, but yeah, and then you had the what's the code to get all the 99 lives for Contra?
Up, down, down, up, down, down, left, right, BA, start.
BA start.
Yes, sir.
Oh, why did I think it was like up down left right AB select start or
Yeah,
BA
well,
select start?
that's the 2-player.
That's for two play. Look at that.
Yeah.
The stuff we remember, right? I don't-
Yeah. Oh man, I can tell you the old Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat 1 Blood Code.
Dude, man. Must have been a game we played a lot.
ABACABB.
Look at this guy. ABACABB. Yeah, you know, if you guys are listening to this and you're just nerding out with us right now about like these things that we remember, maybe you can leave it in the comments as to a code that you remember by heart. Maybe it's not even a code. Maybe it's a specific area or like where there was a hidden room or a dungeon. Like I remember the last dungeon of Phantasy Star. You know, how many floors you had to go up and down in order to make it to the top before you can fly into like the sky castle or whatever it was to fight the last boss. But I know it was you had to go 4 floors up, 3 floors down, and 7 floors up. And then there was a specific gap. I think it was on the 5th floor, whatever, that you would fall through and whatever. And it was just instinctual after a time that you just did it. So
that had to be a headache and a half.
brother, I used to play Dungeons and Dragons like pencil and paper, you know, the graph paper, and I mapped all those dungeons in Phantasy Star when I first played it. So I would,
you put in some work.
Yeah, I would move the controller like up one time, and that would be like one box, and move it up and one box, and move it up and one, and that's how I got through all the dungeons, because I mean I was just used to it, doing it on playing Dungeons and Dragons. So you know, for me it was just like, oh okay, I'm gonna get through this area, I'm not gonna get lost, and yeah, but it took time. It took a lot of time. That's all I had. I was a kid, man. So,
you know, for gaming is you make it. I mean, I know we slowly getting off topic, but just
it's all good. It's all good.
I love the fact, no matter what age you are, no matter when you started gaming, you always gonna have that one or two or a few games that you're going to look at and be like, yo, that's the game I remember that really made me really want to do gaming. And, you know, I have several games like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just talking about it, like, I mean, we say here from time to time, right? Maybe more often than not, like we're just hanging out, right? We're just chilling, having a conversation about games. Sometimes we actually talk about like topics and specific things. Sometimes we're just chilling, man, and we're just reminiscing about things. And that's what I loved about this same episode last week, which I screwed up. I won't forgive myself for that. But the conversation that was coming out of it, man, was just great. Just reminiscing on the games that we play and why we play them. And you know, then you start to think, oh, that's why, you know, you continue to lean like towards that genre or certain things you see and you're like, yeah, I've played that game before. You know, it's nothing new. And that's why when I think, Jay, when a game actually comes out that does something special, we perk up. Like, you know, we take notice and we go, wait a minute, there's something unique about this game. And it kind of like hits that gaming nerve that we kind of developed, right? But anyways, let me move on to the next game, with your permission, of course.
What you got?
Well, here's a game that when the first one dropped, I loved it. like countless other individuals loved it. I actually went out and bought the OG Xbox when Halo 1 Combat Evolved dropped, right? And I mean, it was a no-brainer for me. But it wasn't until Halo 2 came out that I really started to dig the series. And can you guess what it was about Halo 2 that did it for me?
Co-op.
No, it wasn't the co-op. It was something that I had not seen in another game before. And
Interesting. What would that be?
yeah, it was the dual wielding.
Really?
Yeah, the dual wielding, bro. I remember the first time running around with the chief, and when I was able to pick up two different weapons. I mean, and it was just so cool because you're in first person. You know, you're usually running around like like in Call of Duty, and you just have your primary, and then you switch out to your secondary, and then you switch out to your knife and whatnot. But with Halo 2, we got dual wielding, and that was just one of those moments where I was like, yo, this is dope. Like right now, we take it for granted. Like right now, it's but when I first experienced that, man, I was just like, yo, this is dope. I can have a Covenant weapon, and I can have, Master Chief's, weapon in hand. Like I can have both of them at the same time, a needler and just, and maybe a pistol, in the other hand. And it was just so much fun, bro. It was just so much fun. But for me, that was just like revolutionary, man, to have the dual wielding available. It was pretty good. And this video is being shown. It's original to Tough Gaming Guy. That I have no audio on it because I don't, want to infringe on anything or whatnot. But good game, good game, at least in my opinion. So yeah.
Why you bringing back some memories on me, man?
I mean, hey, I'm trying here. I'm trying here. Talk to me about something else, Jay. So I think I've gone through 3 games now. So
so you want another one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
A game that really changed my life overall, and I really gotta say it, was Final Fantasy Tactics.
Final Fantasy Tactics. Okay. I was wondering when you was gonna come up with a Final Fantasy or RPG game.
Well, I'm a sucker for RPGs, man. Don't sell me short on that.
Final Fantasy Tactics. So talk to me about Final Fantasy Tactics, man. Where did you play it on?
I played it on the original PlayStation back in the day. Boy, I'm showing my age.
On the PS1. Okay.
I mean, legitly, I probably owned that game back then a better part of 30 times. Basically, long story short, I would say it's Dungeons and Dragons meets chess.
Dungeons and Dragons meets chess. Okay, I mean that is a tactical game, right? Is it a RTS?
It is an RTS.
Okay,
and it is not an easy RTS.
On the PlayStation 1.
Final Fantasy Tactics is that game.
Now I think you and we were hanging the other night. I think it was last night, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken. And I remembered that the PlayStation controller, for PS1, it still didn't have analog sticks.
Really?
The PlayStation 1 controller?
Yeah, it had
Did it have analog sticks, or it just had a D-pad?
I think right before it went over to PlayStation 2, like the final like controller was analog.
Okay, I gotta check that out. It was actually
Yeah,
one analog, like one stick or two.
actually, it was dual analog. It just
The
you didn't get
PlayStation
that
One,
rumble. You didn't get the Dual Shock until PlayStation 2. That's right. Okay.
the PlayStation One controller. I don't know.
Yeah,
I gotta check that. I'm not saying you
because
lying, but
because we started getting analog controllers back on the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast
yeah, I remember.
because
I remember.
because
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
and that's when everybody was like, go analog, and then Sony went analog, Dreamcast went analog, everything kind of went analog, even GameCube went analog.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that because analog was a thing for a while.
Okay. I thought PlayStation just had the D pad for whatever reason. That's what I thought it was, but yeah. If you guys hear some noise in the background coming from my side over here, it's my dog who is outside my door and decides to scratch on the floor, and it drives me nuts. I wish I can get up and like just give her a swift one in the buttocks, which I won't because she old, but she just
Man,
does. She gets on my
leave
nerves,
that,
bro.
leave your puppy alone, man.
She gets on my nerves. Anyways, I'm gonna move on, man, because obviously there's no one outside the door to say, "Hey, get away from there" or "Stop doing that." So just gonna have to bear with me. All right, I think I got two more games in me, Jay, before we wrap it up for this evening. But
All right.
I think of the games that we mentioned, some good ones. I still have more than two games to talk about, but this one, I was reminded how I told myself, no, I'm not going to play this game because I have an addictive personality. And if I play this game, it's going to be over. Like, I'm not going to play anything else. And you guys have heard me here saying, about Destiny and how that was all that I played, and I played that for like 2 years, like straight, like nothing else. But yeah, another game that caught me out there was Animal Crossing, New Horizons,
Didn't
on the
you were
Switch.
playing that in COVID with the missus. I remember you playing that.
Yeah, man. Even the missus got got involved in it, and I have to confess, man, it was my first, my first introduction to Animal Crossing. It wasn't a game that I would have said, "Oh, I can't wait for it to come out." I was like not at all familiar with the game, but the game started to catch on during the COVID lockdown, and rightfully so, man. And people started raving about it. It sold like hotcakes. And I saw what the game was about, and I said, "Nah, I can't play this game. I'm bringing a little bit of B-roll, just long enough for you guys." I mean, if you're not familiar with Animal Crossing, like I can't help you. But
Wow.
this game was just addictive and fun, and yeah, it was just great, man. Where it stopped being fun for me was it wasn't even so much like doing the tasks over and over and over again. Because I used to love like to go farm and collect stuff and sell stuff so I can like, get my wardrobe going. I love doing that. It stopped being fun for me when I was kind of put into a position where I had to start building houses for like other residents, and they were NPCs. But I didn't want nobody on my island. Like I just wanted to stay on the island by myself and continue to do my own thing. And if I had to take the series in another direction, or even add like a game mode, I would put like a solo, game mode where if you wanted to invite like friends over to your island, you can do that. They can fly in and whatnot, and you do your thing. But if you just want to be a hermit like me and just live on your island by yourself and forget NPCs and whatnot, like unless they were like necessary, like to sell you stuff or whatnot, I would be good with that. But that's my take on Animal Crossing, man. A fantastic game. If you haven't played it, it's a great game. I put countless hours into it, and it was one that once I put it down, I just didn't come back to it. I said I gotta stay away. But great
There
game,
you go.
great game, bro. Great game. All right, Jay.
Well, this brother said, go ahead, name
Yeah,
again.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Animal Crossing, bro. Good times, bro. My wife and I had great times. We visit each other's island. I mean, we were laying in bed together, and we would just like play on our Switch and visit each other's islands. And I would bring her like fruit and stuff that didn't like grow on her, on because she's not a gamer. So I would collect stuff, and I wound up like expanding her house, like in real life, bro. I was paying for everything, but it was just fun, man. It was just crafting and doing your daily task, and it's a sim in that sense. um but yeah, man, it just threw me off when it was like, oh, now build a house for three other residents. And I was like, nah, man, my island is getting full now. I don't want people here. So anyways.
Now, see, I never got into Animal Crossing, like never, but I can see the where the addiction would come in,
Yeah.
especially when you just like, I just want to sit down, I just want to chill,
Yeah, it's
I
such a
don't want to
chill game,
bother
bro.
nobody.
Such a chill game. And if you go on YouTube, bro, and you look up like videos that people made of like, you know, because it went through seasons. So like if you went, let's just say fishing, for instance, there were certain fish that would come out during certain seasons, and the season weren't like made up seasons. It was like actual real life seasons. So like if I was playing it and it was spring in real life, that is what was in the game. It was spring in the game. If it snowed in my area, it was snowing in the game.
See, that's cool, man.
Yeah, man. It just, I'm telling you, it was, you collect, you fish. I mean, you just whatever, bro. Let's move on. Let's move on.
This brother about to give me a whole rundown on Animal Crossing
Dude,
real
it's
quick.
it's I'm not doing it any justice how great this game. And I'll just say this to kind of give my 2 cents. Was it COVID that made this game popular? I don't think so. I think it made it even more so popular. But the game itself, regardless of COVID and the lockdown, and it being the perfect game, you might say, to play during a time of, you're isolated. Um, yeah, but the game is just, it's fantastic, bro. It's fantastic. I'm just glad that I was able to play it during a time where that's all we had, but what was time. That was it. So, all right, Jay, hit me with one more. Hit me with one more. And I think I'm gonna give you one more, and then I think we're gonna wrap it up.
This 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 man said, "Give me something. Tell me something good."
You gotta have something in the pipe. Come on.
Oh man! All right. It's really hard picking your favorite games of all time, or just games that really made an impression on your life. But if we aiming high, and I mean we really gotta aim high. Uh, I'm gonna have to go ahead and say Tecmo Super Bowl.
You said you're aiming high with Tecmo Super Bowl. You serious? I mean, I like the game, but I thought you was gonna come out with some ancient, like, unknown game. Tecmo Super Bowl for the SNES or for the NES?
Yeah, well, either one,
Either one.
either one.
Which one would you play? I think we just gonna have to default to the NES, huh?
Well, We're gonna default to the NES.
Tecmo Bowl for the NES.
And the only reason I say that is there's back in my younger days, there was a lot of betting and yelling and you can't beat me, and
Uh-huh.
you know how guys are. Everybody want a peacock. So, everybody ran their mouth. What'd you say? Hey, we can play some Tecmo. And
Dang, so
that was,
it got that serious on Tecmo, huh?
oh man, we went hard on Tecmo, dude.
Here it is on the screen. I think this is what supposedly is the New York Giants against Miami. Those look like Miami Dolphin colors right there. Now they didn't have any they didn't have any licenses or anything, right? So it wasn't like
they had the NFL license.
They had NFL license. Okay. That's right. Because you see the names of the actual players.
Yeah, this was back before EA was like, you can't have nothing.
And this game was just fun, man. Just flat out fun. You
unadulterated, baby, unadulterated.
Yeah, you just had like 4 plays.
Yeah.
Well, it was usually like 2 runs, 2 passes, and that was it. I mean, that was the NES. That was crazy.
I mean, it got better as time went on, but I guess when you came up during our time, if you didn't even remotely touch a Tecmo game, that was a problem. Tecmo wrestling, Tecmo NBA basketball,
right?
That I think Tecmo had the sports on lockdown.
Yeah. But I gotta confess though, Tecmo Bowl, this one right here, this was the go-to. If I played any basketball, any 8-bit basketball, it was gonna be Double Dribble, like all day. Double Dribble.
I don't want to see Double Dribble no more. Last time I played Double Dribble, I got my teeth kicked in.
You got spanked. I was there to witness it too.
But shut up, dude.
He got spanked.
That ain't nothing to be proud of right there.
Man, what I mean, I think you kept it. You brought it down to 9 points. You lost by 9 points. It wasn't even double digits. So you saved a little bit of your pride there, but
you ain't making me feel no better, man.
Oh man,
you know what you're doing. You ain't slick.
Nah, man. I'm just trying to entertain here.
Nah, man. You trying to bring up some bad memories. That's what you're trying to do.
Oh man, guys, if you're watching us here, even if it's after the fact on YouTube.com/ or at Drama Free Gaming. We appreciate you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We try to be here every week. Just hang out for a little bit. I'm going to give you guys one more game. I'm not going to stretch this out anymore because we're coming up on the hour here. And yeah, the pillow's calling us. On the screen, if you're watching us, is another game that I played. It is on Game Pass. It's called You Suck at Parking.
Wait, what?
I knew that was going to get you. It is called You Suck at Parking. Check it out on Game Pass. If you got Game Pass, check it out. It got super frustrating for me, but I had a good bit of fun. The whole thing of the game is once you hit the gas pedal on your little car, you try to make it through the obstacle to the parking spot, and you don't stop, because if you stop, that's it. Your car stops. So you're either going to stop at the parking spot or you're going to run out of gas. But you can't advance until you park your car in all the assigned parking spots. So,
man, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. It definitely gets hard as you play. But the last game I'm gonna mention this evening, we've mentioned Xbox games, we've mentioned arcade games, we've mentioned Nintendo games. I would be remiss if I didn't mention a PlayStation game. And here's one game that I played. I put it down. I picked it up. I put it down. And I've picked it up, and I'm looking forward to picking it up again and actually seeing it through. And a lot of people are waiting on a sequel or even a remake on this game. Do you have any idea what I might be talking about, Jay? Any idea?
I have no. I'm lost.
No idea. Well, this is a game that and it's a genre that I have told Jay, listen, you would like this genre. You would love this game. He doesn't play it. He doesn't want to play it. I don't know if he's scared. I think he's scared. But this game in particular is none other than Bloodborne. Bloodborne. And if you don't know what Bloodborne is, you have been living under a rock. It's on the
Wait, you play
PlayStation 4.
Bloodborne?
Yeah, I played Bloodborne.
I didn't know you played Bloodborne.
Did you play Bloodborne?
No, I've never played Bloodborne.
Oh man, you've missed out.
Not really? I mean, I could go play it. Well,
but you won't.
I mean, I said I could. I didn't say it was going to happen.
You could, but you won't. You won't play it.
No, because you stepped out on the ledge and you played Resident Evil 4. No, Resident Evil 2 remake.
Mm-hmm.
So I might step out on a limb and mess with this Bloodborne and die.
So yeah, you're gonna die. You're gonna die a whole lot. Now the thing about Bloodborne, and you're watching it on the screen, I love the world, the aesthetic, the feel. Bloodborne is in the Souls vein, but it moves faster. And that's what I liked about Bloodborne over the Souls games. Although I do love the Souls games as well. I'm no good at them. I haven't completed none of them. But Bloodborne, when I popped it into my PlayStation 4, I immediately was like, wow, why hadn't I played this genre before? And I actually got pretty deep in Bloodborne after I started like figuring out, the dance, because there's a dance that you do in these games, right? Just like any game that you learn patterns of enemies and whatnot. And you start developing that skill after dying about 1 million times. But Bloodborne, you got to give it a try, man. And hey, where's Blue Point to make like a remaster of this game on the PlayStation 5? I would immediately pick it up. I would immediately purchase this game and add it to my library. That's how much I love this game. Even though, again, I've never ended it.
It goes on sale all the time.
Yeah, I know. I actually purchased it for the PlayStation 4. I got it digital, so it's in my library. But if Blue Point, which has made other remakes of games in the Souls vein, I think they did the Demon Souls, was it? I believe it was Demon Souls. Yeah, if they did a remake of this game, I would immediately buy it for PlayStation 5. No,
really?
Yeah, definitely. I just love, again, the world, the aesthetics, yeah. And I mean, I've seen Digital Foundries do a review of this game and talking about its frame rates and how it's just, the hitbox is all screwed up, the frame rates is all screwed up and everything. And yet the game rocks, bro. So but I'm gonna keep you to your word, Jay. I want to see you play this game and give us some feedback as to how you feel about it after you play. So,
I'm definitely I definitely like to try to get everything up to date. I'll sit down and play this game so you can watch me die.
Yeah, that'd be great, man. I mean, even if you play it on your own and get a little taste and go, yo, I see what Entine's talking about here. You're not gonna have any regrets. You're gonna like this game a whole lot. But yeah, brother, it's about that time, man. I'm not gonna keep you past your bedtime. I think it's 7 minutes over your bedtime. It's 9:37 p.m. So,
well, when you old and that sun start dropping down, and you be like, man, I ain't young no more. That sun is kind of like the bat signal for me now. Like, oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm up early too, man. I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm up like every day with my wife, even if I don't want to. It's like she gets up and my eyeballs pop open. I'm like, okay, she's up. The day started. So, but anyways, guys, we appreciate you hanging with us. Jay, as always, I appreciate you hanging out, man, just chatting. I need
course.
I need these times, bro. I need more of these times for us to just sit, chat, talk about games, and you know, just pass the
Oh
time.
man, this is what we here for. This is the drama ain't here, just a conversation.
Just a conversation, man. That's right. Well, guys, thank you for hanging out. Shout out to DFG over on Discord. Come check us out as well. That's Drama Free Gaming. Come over, hang out. Like I said, we just chill. Just a bunch of guys. We're raising kids, raising families, trying to stay sane, trying to do some gaming when we get an opportunity, and trying to get behind these mics at least once a week to just shoot the breeze and pass the time and just enjoy life, man. But as always, and as I always like to say, do good and be good and keep your gaming and your life drama free. Later.
Later.